Hey, thank you for tuning in to Trade with Ellie. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share as well. So if you've watched my previous video on supply and demand, you understand the strength of our currency, right? Of our buying dollar, that it can shift a number of things in the market, in all markets. Right? So how we spend our money affects all markets, affects the stock market, even the foreign exchange market, which is the largest financial market in the world and one of the best markets to trade in, to invest in. And it's amazing because it's recession proof. Hello. But I'm not here to talk about the foreign exchange market. I'm here to talk about supply and demand when it comes to meat. So if you've been paying attention, right, we've had a shortage of meat. In the past couple of months since the start of the pandemic, right? It's been affecting the poultry industry, beef, chicken, and pork, right? There's been a shortage, so a lot of places had little to none. There've been increase in prices and limitations on how many packs of meat a household can actually purchase, right? And this is all due to how the production has been going. Right? So if you haven't watched that supply and demand video, I recommend you go watch it first. But just to help you refresh your memory, this information will help you understand what is currently happening to the meat industry and how this is affecting us. So hopefully this is something that we're able to overcome, because if this keeps trickling into other markets, it's going to create shortages in other ways. I spoke about how the shortage of toilet paper, affected the markets, and I want you to understand how what's going on in the meat industry is affecting us today.
So is it still one meat per person?
Prices increased on beef and pork reflect the cost we are charged by our suppliers. Our profit margins have not increased as costs subsidize wood. We will lower
the supply chain of livestock in America has been disrupted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, leading to a supply shortage and higher prices. The meat and poultry industry is the largest segment of U.S. agriculture. American meat companies produce chicken the most, followed by beef, then pork, then turkey, lamb, and veal. The supply chain generally looks like this. Cattle, chicken, and hogs are farmed and raised, finished or fattened up, sent to a processing facility for slaughter, packaged, and finally sold for consumption. Over the years, the supply chain at every level has gotten more and more consolidated, with a few large companies gobbling up smaller operators for economies of scale. Oftentimes, individual farmers are contracted by big companies in what's known as a vertically integrated chain. In this industry, COVID-19 has had the largest impact on the processing plants, where most of the butchering is done through automated machines and where workers typically stand side by side with little distance between them. Because of the coronavirus, plants have either been forced to close or to decrease their staffing levels. This has essentially created an hourglass effect, with lots of supply at the top and lots of demand at the bottom, but with a reduced processing capacity in the middle. That reduced capacity is the bottleneck in the system. Another way companies have been handling the processing bottleneck: selling larger cuts of meat. Fewer deboned chickens and individual steaks, which means more work for you before you cook. Grocery stores are also limiting how much customers can purchase.